Today I'm going to show you how to take your dehydrated starter and turn it into an active starter to use in all your recipes.
Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And so today I am going to walk you through how to rehydrate and reactivate your sourdough starter. Once you've gotten, because I'm mailing these out to a lot of you have requested to purchase them. I'm mailing them out with the instructions on how to refresh your starter. I want to show you how it works. I want to show you that it does work and walk you through step by step for 7 days. So this video will take me a little bit of time, but you'll see it all in real time. So in a 1 quart jar, we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of water. I'm going to leave that just okay. So 1/4 of a cup of lukewarm water, okay? And I'm using filtered water out of my refrigerator. So I feel like it's really important to have filtered water. So let me bring you a little bit closer so you can really see the texture. Well, you can kind of see it. It's grainy. That's the sourdough starter. Oh, and as I spill it, okay. And you do have a sour, you can tell it's sourdough starter. Can't believe I spilled it. So it's like almost the consistency of cornmeal. So I'm going to put the measurements that you are receiving in your packets, which is 2 tablespoons. What if you've got a starter that you just are tired of feeding? Dehydrate it, and then this is how you bring it back to life. So another tablespoon in that 1/4 of a cup, and you're just going to swirl this along. And boy, I did spill it. Okay. Anyways, you're just going to swirl this along every couple of, every time you pass the counter, swirl this along. And then we're going to, just as long as it takes to really get it rehydrated, refreshed. And then you're going to add, once it's rehydrated, you're going to add 1/8 of a cup of milk, and I'm using whole milk, 1/8 of a cup of flour, and 1/16 of a cup of sugar. Okay. And these directions came from Patty over at Alderman Farms. And I felt like, I know with the milk and the sugar, it's going to be really hard not to have big success. And I don't want anybody to fail at this. Could you just put this in water, dissolve it, feed it with flour, and maybe a pinch of sugar? Yes, you could. But I'm going to do it this way for you so you get exactly how. And you shouldn't see it sitting on the bottom once it's all in there refreshed or rehydrated. You shouldn't see any on the bottom anymore. So it's going to take very little time, actually. In fact, I think it's just about ready. Okay, so that's how easy it is. Let me get my milk, and I just did another load because the first couple batches of starter are already gone. All right, so don't forget, if you would like to purchase sourdough starter from me, the way to do it is to contact me with my email address that's down below. Give me your mailing address. I will then give you my PayPal email, and you can go over there, pay. As soon as I get that in PayPal, I'm going to go ahead and mail you off your starter. So, okay. Let's get the sourdough going. Hold on, sourdough starter going. I'm excited for you guys to see this. Okay. So I have, it's all in there. It looks like there's none left at the bottom. A few little granules, but just kind of what you see on the side of the jar. Not much. Okay, so now it's time to add 1/8 of a cup of milk, which is, it's 2 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons equals 1/4 cup. Okay, 1. Ooh, it's gonna like this because the milk has some sugar to it. So, okay, whole milk. You can use, dehydrated, or freeze-dried or dried milk in this application as well. 1 tablespoon of sugar and 2 tablespoons of flour. So I should have done the flour first. Let's get this. I dipped it in some water. So, okay, let's get some flour. You want 2 tablespoons. 1 and 2. And I packed it pretty good. Okay, so it's an honest engine. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. There you go. That's as easy as that is. We're gonna give this a good mix. And this is gonna be very wet for a little bit. It's not gonna end up thick and ooey gooey, but then tomorrow I'm gonna come back and feed it again. And I'm gonna give it a 1/4 cup of flour and another little bit of sugar tomorrow. So this is day 1. So try to break up all your flour if you can on the side of the jar. And there you go. Okay, very liquidy. We're gonna watch that come back to life. And I'm excited because I think it's already saying hello. And you should, if you taste that, it's gonna be a little bit sweet because of the sugar, but it definitely has a tangier texture or taste to it. So that's all you do. And then cover your jar loosely with paper toweling. I probably don't even need a whole paper towel. And just to keep dust and debris out of there. It'll still allow wild yeast in there, but there you go. This is gonna sit in a warm spot on my counter or in the proofing oven. I'll probably put it in the proofing oven because it's a little cool in here. I'll put it in the proofing oven and then I'll be back tomorrow and show you what I do next, the next step. All right, okay, so this is day 2 of bringing back the starter to life, okay? As you can see, it's kind of separated, but we're gonna swirl that around and we're gonna take the paper toweling off and we're gonna add our next ingredients, which is pretty simple. You're kind of doing a repeat of what you did before. And so, yeah. Okay, so day 2, it says feed your starter with a 1/4 cup of milk. I've got milk here and it's room temperature. Okay, 1/4 cup of milk, and I'm using whole milk. You could use powdered milk, I suppose. A 1/4 cup of flour. So we're gonna get a 1/4 cup of flour, and you're supposed to stir in between each thing. So we're gonna get our flour and, okay. All right, so we're gonna stir in between, stir in the milk. And there's some stuff at the bottom there. You can feel it. Anyway, okay. And now a 1/4 cup of flour. We're just gonna add that right down in and stir that in. And you're gonna try to keep this in a warm place. I had it in my proofing oven, so it got to stay pretty warm. Not overly warm though, you know, room temperature warm. And now it calls for an 1/8 cup of sugar. And I'm using regular white sugar. I suppose you could replace that, but that's just 2 tablespoons of sugar. And we'll do that. And there you go, 2 tablespoons of sugar. And it smells good, actually. I'm gonna tell you. Even the dehydrated starter, before you even put liquid to it, you can smell the sourdough smell. So, okay. Now this is gonna sit until tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get it moving along. And pretty soon we're gonna see some activity. Actually, I already do see activity. Okay, I am going to try to get you in close enough that you can see. Can you see the bubbles that are coming up? That is action. So hopefully you could see that. Yeah, I'm excited. This is only day 2 and it's already becoming active. So that's really, really encouraging. I just wanted to do this video for you, for all of you that have bought the starter already.
to know that it's gonna be good, it's gonna be lively, and you're gonna be able to bake bread with this, or pancakes, or any other sourdough recipe. And you're gonna have the flavors of the Northwest in, and it will also become your own because of the wild yeast and bacteria in the air that you have in your area. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. So day 3 for this starter. And let me just tell you, I can smell the, but the water kind of settles, or the clear liquid settles on top. So I'm just gonna stir it before I add anything. And I'm gonna feed the starter a 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of flour, stirring after each thing. So I've got just lukewarm water, or warm milk, a 1/4 cup. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. And the great thing was last night, I really saw bubbles starting, and I already see bubbles, and I'm not creating bubbles, they're bubbling up already. So that sugar that's in that milk is already feeding the starter, which is fantastic. Okay, and then I want a 1/4 cup of flour, and there we go. And we'll stir, 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 yeah. And then it's calling for sugar again. This is ensuring that this starter has enough sugar and enough, everything that it needs to thrive during this getting it back to an active state, okay? Super excited about this though. And literally, I'm gonna see if I can show you again. So 2 tablespoons of sugar, which honestly, I think it could be dropped down, but I'm gonna follow the instructions because I want you guys to succeed at this. I don't want you to think that, okay. So I've got it all stirred up, smooth, and now literally, oh yeah, bubbles are creating themselves on the surface. That's so cool to know that your starter is vibrant and alive. And it's gonna go back in the proofing oven, and we'll be back for day 4. It says on day 4, it says you should see some bubbling, but I saw that on day 2. So there's that. Sorry, I feel like I should clean that up, but I wanna show you the bubbling. Let me show you some bubbling, okay? Let's see if I can. Can you see? Let's get the camera angled right over the top of that. Hopefully you can see some kind of bubbling there. Maybe I will turn the camera around completely. I'll come back here the next, yeah. Oh yeah, it's bubbling. Okay, can you see that? That was totally smooth, and now I've got bubbles coming up. Can you see them popping? I see one that's gonna get busy here in a minute. I believe we got, yeah. So this is already an active starter. Absolutely fantastic. This is only day 3. So be confident. Now I'm gonna put this back in my oven with just the oven light on. I don't even have the proofing oven on, but it is, yeah, it's nice and toasty in here, so it should be fine. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'm excited. This is day 4 for reviving this sourdough starter from Dehydrated. And I was so excited yesterday when I saw all the bubbles, and yeah. So today, I don't know if you can see it. And this jar is cold to the touch, but there's little bubbles down here. I don't know. Can you see a little bit? Little bitty bits. It's hard to see, but see the bubbles? See them? Yes, they're in there. So there's activity. The starter that I dehydrated is very active, very happy, still running strong, and I'm making tons of stuff. So I like to stir it with a chopstick. I am going to feed this starter. So day 4,
you should start seeing bubbling at this point. What you want to see eventually is your starter doubling in size. So I do believe that it did get up to here last night, and then my proofing oven, you know, shut down. Dang it, dang the bad luck. So it is rising up, but we're gonna show you, and maybe I'll take a picture of what it looks like in the morning. I'm gonna try to keep my proofing oven, or at least the oven light, on all night tonight and tomorrow while I'm at work. So we're gonna add again a 1/4 cup of milk, and we're gonna stir after each item, okay? So 1/4 cup of, and this is tepid to lukewarm milk. Go ahead and get that stirred in. It still gets that watery substance on the top at this point. And so we're gonna get that all stirred around nice. Ooh, we got bubbling action going on already. Oh my gosh. Totally gonna show you this. Just after the milk, bubbles are popping up. Okay, 1/4 cup of flour. And I'm just using the same old all-purpose flour, okay? And this is I'm gonna reiterate, this is a red wheat, organic red wheat flour, and absolutely wonderful. Okay, stir after each thing. And now I'm gonna add my sugar, and it's 1/8 cup or 2 tablespoons. And I'm really, the sugar is really helping feed this, but there's sugar in the milk too. So if I was really gonna do this on my own, I might omit the sugar completely. And honestly, my starter started out with just water and flour, and let the natural feeding process go. So you get it stirred in there very, very nicely, and then I'm gonna show you the bubbles again. So you can see we're down to here. We'll see where we go. And go ahead and get your chopstick cleaned off. And then we'll wash that up. Don't let it sit, because it will turn into concrete for sure. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, we got bubbles. Bubbles away. Here, I'll come back and show you the bubbles. Those bubbles. That is a starter that's starting to get very, very happy. So this is what you want. You want active, bubbly, smells fermenty. Can you see them? They're doing their thing. This is exactly what we want. Active. Okay. I will see you tomorrow with day 5. Okay, so it's day 5. Super excited about doing day 5. So in here, you still have a little bit of liquid, but I can see there's bubbles at the top. I can see little bubbles all around the sides. I don't know if the camera can pick them up or not. Probably not. But yeah, you can see them. You can see little bubbles in there. This smells good, and now that I'm moving it, it's actually getting its groove on. So bubbly starter is viable to make bread. I probably could make bread with this right now. I'm excited about that. It's been bubbling since what, day 2 or 3? So we're gonna add each ingredient. I've got room temperature milk, 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna be baking something with this. So after each ingredient, we're going to stir, stir, stir. And this was in my oven all night with the light on and all day today. So there's that. And this is a nice liquidy starter. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And once I get this starter this active, after that, I'm just gonna feed it with flour. I'm not gonna continue with the milk and the sugar. I've got a good start on this. You will have an excellent start if you do it this way. And then 1/4 cup, so it's 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of flour, and 1/8 cup, which is a mess. of sugar, each feeding, stirring each ingredient in separately. Oh yeah. And we're gonna, oh yeah, I'm super excited about this starter. It's very, very active. So you wanna make sure you're pulling up from the bottom if anything is settled. And like I showed you guys, it started bubbling like the big, oh yeah, it's already bubbling. So bubbles are coming to the top. That's good. This isn't anything that's gonna foam up, you know. The bubbles are from the fermentation and the starter is active. Oh yeah, so we've got bubbles, just like I showed you. It's still active. And smell your starter. Get to know who she is. Oh yeah, it smells like sourdough bread. It should have that sour, that smell that you want. You should see bubbles popping up on the top, and I do. And so this actually is pretty ready to make bread. I'm gonna give it, because I'm not ready to make bread, I'm gonna give it, well, we're at day 5. I'm gonna do day 6, and we'll see. So on day 6, you should have 2 cups of starter or more. Yep, I'm gonna bring you back tomorrow and we'll do the whole program. So this is the instructions that I send you when you purchase the starter. So if you follow this, follow it along, you're not gonna fail. You're going to have a great starter, and then it's up to you to keep your girl alive. I suggest you give it a name, give it a place to live, and keep her happy. That's what I suggest. Okay, so tomorrow, unless you want to see, let's see. Okay, can you see bubbles? Can you see bubbles in there? I don't know what we're looking at. Yeah, there's a little bit of bubbles, but it does. So if you taste it, it should have a tart, lemony, or sour flavor to you. Not off-putting or anything. It should be really good. So I'm put my little paper towel lid back on, just loosely. I don't even care, just loosely. So yeast, wild yeast can still get in there, and bacteria and all that stuff is happening. That's what makes a really good sourdough starter. You can keep a starter alive for 40 years. So the older your starter, the better it's gonna be. The more delicious your baked goods are gonna be. And you literally can bake anything. Crackers, sweetbreads, pancakes, waffles, you name it, use your starter. And it will be more beneficial to you to consume. Your body will see it as more of a, almost like a sprouted bread than, you know, just commercially produced. Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow. Okay, guys, we are at day 6. Day 5, literally, my camera did not turn on. And I thought I had it on. I'm making sure right now it's on. But literally, I just repeated what I'm doing. It was ready to make bread yesterday or the day before. We have nice foamy, I have my daughter's dogs, so yeah, you'll hear Ruby whining in the background. We're gonna do a 1/4 cup. We're feeding it again, and tomorrow I'm baking bread. I could have baked bread or any kind of baked goods yesterday, the day before. I mean, it's been really, really active, and I'm super excited about this starter. So between each thing, so it's still a 1/4 cup, right? We should have at least 2 cups, if not more, so you can bake bread. Because I missed yesterday on video, I'm still gonna just do this. 2 cups of starter. We're gonna do, oh yeah, 2 cups of starter. Oh, are they starting? Or am I starting? Okay. I don't want to double it. So I'm still just gonna do, you can do what's on this recipe instructions that I'm sending you if you buy the starter. I'm just going to repeat what I did. I don't want to put a half a cup of milk. I've got more than 2 cups of starter already. So I don't want a half a cup of milk. And, you know, I'm going to do the quarter cup. And we'll put the milk in and the sugar. And tomorrow we're baking bread. I'm just saying. We're going to bake some bread, okay? I know you guys are excited. This has been very active and it smells good. It tastes good. So if you taste your starter and it has a lemony or a sour taste to it, you've done what you needed to do. It's kind of tastes lemony. Ooh, it's already bubbling because I fed it. So from now on though, once I start baking bread with this, I'm not going to add sugar or milk to it anymore. I'm just going to feed it with flour and call it good. So this is going to go back in the oven with the light on, okay? And we're going to pray that it doesn't overproof into any kind of, and so that sugar has to dissolve and it's going to start feeding on the sugar, and tomorrow we're baking bread. Oh yeah, it's already bubbling away. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll pull the camera over here just a second. Even with the sugar, it's tangy. It's got a tangy taste to it. Can you see what's going on in there? Let's see if I can, yeah, I want to get you close, but not too close. Yeah, we got bubbles coming up to the top. It's good. It's a really good starter. Okay, all done from the dehydrated starter and brought it back to life. 6 days. Tomorrow we're baking bread. Like I said, or some kind of baked good. I'm going to bake bread for you so you can see what goes on. But that's going to be in my next video after this. So starter from bringing it back to life, and then the next video will be bread making. What I might do is show you the loaf of bread here on the end of this video so you can see, and that'll encourage you to go over and watch it. Otherwise, this video is going to be extremely long. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and following along and purchasing the starter. So if you go down below, email me, and starter is $10, and I'll mail it to you. So email me your address and then go over to PayPal after I send you my PayPal email and put it in there as friends and family. If you don't put it in as friends and family, it charges me more, and then, yeah, then it's not so cost effective for me. So I'm trying to keep it cost effective for you and for you to have a wonderful Northwest sourdough starter. All right, back in the oven it goes. Hey guys, so this is the last day. This is day 7 or it's day 6. Day 6? Day 7. Day 7. I started it a week ago. So it's ready to use. Look at that. I showed you the picture. This bubbled all up and the paper toweling, I believe, stopped it. Now it's starting to sink back down. I'm gonna bake some bread with this. So I want you to come along for the next video. I didn't want to make this video so long that you can't get through it. But this is how I brought that starter back to life from dehydrated to a finished state in 1 week. And actually, I probably could have used this on Wednesday or Thursday. Literally, it was that fast. So the milk and the sugar really feeds it well. If you wanted to do it slower, you could just use flour and water, but always use filtered water. I'm excited to bake bread with this. I'm gonna get that started next, and I'll get that to be the very next video for you. Okay guys, I hope you're enjoying the sourdough adventures, and if so, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you've got a starter on your countertop, because it's like having a little pet in the house that you feed every day and check on, and you make sure they're doing good, and you make, I don't know, bread, crackers. Who wants to see sourdough crackers? Because I just so happens I made some and they are phenomenal. Anyway, so let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see sourdough crackers? Anyways, I am gonna make bread with this. I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple because I need sandwich bread this week. So sourdough, and it smells so good. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay guys, I did want to come back and make sure that you guys know how you can purchase your own dehydrated sourdough starter that came from my mother's starter, as it were, and the instructions on how to step by step bring it back to life. And anyways, my email address is down below. If you'll email me your address and let me know that you want a starter and how many you'd like, because it makes a great gift, okay? An inexpensive gift. It's $10 even at this point. And if you go over to, I'll send you my PayPal address. I'll reply to that email. I'll send you my PayPal address, and you can go over there and put it as friends and family so it doesn't charge me extra for having the PayPal, okay? And then all I've got to do is put a stamp in an envelope and you're good to go. I'll mail it off right away. All right, I just wanted to put that in there because a lot of you are asking, how can I buy this from you? I've sold several, and I have several already dehydrated, ready to go. All right, bye again. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.